Hi, this will be a continuation of the previous few videos on making components or, user interface widgets with Xcode and Swift. In the last few videos, we made this sort of, dial or meter thing that maybe it works like this. We're going to drag the slider thing here, and then it's going to change the meter. And we've got a label here that we added in the last video, but the label doesn't change. So what I'd like to do is I'd like to show a numeric value here that matches the the position of the line here. And then there's also another thing is when we get to the very end of the line, I feel it's a little weird when the line disappears. So let's try and take care of those two situations right now, right? So let's go back to our circle path. This is the name of our class. We're going to change the name of this and give it a better name later, but right now we've got this name, so we're going to stick with that. Anyway, so we got this, and our class here, as you draw with it, it calls this method, or as you change the value, right? It draws itself with the draw path method. Right, so draw path just sets the stroke end of the shape layer, and shape layer is the the line, the arc that's drawing, right? When you set the stroke end, we're saying like how far along the path that we're going to draw the stroke. Okay, so when this is 0, we don't see any stroke at all. Okay, so we don't want to want this to ever reach at 0 exactly, right? It's always got to be something a little bit less. Okay, so this will stop the line from getting reduced to nothing. Why don't we do this? Why don't we say let stroke end equal, and what we'll do is we'll say value, right, is greater than 0.001, or so, if it's greater than 0.001, then stroke end will be equal to value. If not, stroke end will be equal to 0.001. Okay, maybe we could do 0.0001. I don't know, but if the value is just a little, less than this amount, then we'll just set it to that amount, and then that means we'll stroke like 1/1000th of the line, and that should be just enough to show us a little circle at the beginning. And then instead of just setting the value here, what we'll do is we'll set stroke end right there. And since we're working with a float here, this will end up being a float, so we'll have to convert it to a CG float. Okay? So all this is going to do is prevent the value, the stroke end, or the value that we assign to stroke end to be, less than 0.001. Right, it can never be less than that. Okay, let's give it a try here. And let's see, so there we go, right? So there's 100%, and then when I get to the very end right here, instead of 0, which would make this disappear, it's 0.001. Okay, so that took care of that. Now let's get the number in here. So our number right now is displayed in label, right? And we might want to, well, actually, I'm for sure we're going to want to set this up a little better. But right now, let's just say the number can go 0 to 100. Okay, but really what we want to do is we want to give it a range. And then I'll give you a challenge later. Why don't I make this a challenge right now? Set up a inspectable property that determines what the range should be. Okay? And then if your range is 0 to, if the value is 0 to 1, then we can multiply it by the range, and then that'll be, the full range. So that's an easy challenge. The tougher challenge is set up a range with a minimum and a maximum value. So, like those will be two inspectable properties. You'll be able to set the minimum value to, let's say, 10 and the maximum value to like 50. Or any numbers, right? The minimum value, maximum value. And you can use the UI slider as an example, because UI slider does that. So we can make our thing work like UI slider, right? Okay, so what I'm going to do right now is just set this up to work to go from 0 to 100. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll say how about n equal, and we'll probably really, to make this super useful, we'd probably want to use a number formatter potentially, right? But right now we'll just cheat and we'll just convert this to an integer and say value times 100. So really, we'd probably want to use a number formatter right in the end, but we'll use this for right now. And then what we'll do is we'll say label dot text, wait, not text alignment, text equals, and then we'll just insert n in there, right? And then let's give it a try. Oh, there we go. 0, 34, 70, whatever, 100, right? So that's working pretty good. So here's another challenge for you, right? So this number here, we need a value to set the minimum. So this could be any value. And then when we get to here, we need a number to set that value. So when you drag from here, we can go from minimum value to maximum value, okay? Easy challenge is just to set the range from 0 to whatever range, okay? And then one other, I had another idea for a challenge there. I can't remember what it was. Anyway, so give those a try, and thanks for watching, and then I hope that this is helpful and informative there.